good now.
There we go.
Whenever you are.
Oh, we already started. Good. You
Oh.
accidentally hit the button.
Well, I didn't hit it on here, but yeah, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome back to the Orchard Exchange, and on today's episode, we are going to be covering the blockchains and the networks. It is pretty crucial to understand how they work and what they do, especially when it has to do with withdrawing, transferring, depositing your money into anything. You need to understand how it works. And I'm going to let Eric talk about what else we're going to be covering in the meantime.
Yeah, so welcome again to the show, guys. We are, of course, going to be talking about some of the news of the day that's happening, some big events going on. And we're going to be going over the, for the coin of the day, which is going to be talking about a major coin. And this one is going to be, it's in a lawsuit right now at the SEC. And it could
I'm pretty sure I can guess that one.
yeah, it could make the biggest, difference in crypto. And I think there'll be a movie one day about it, But yeah, so stick around and we're going to be talking about this and going over some of these points that are real important, like Austin was saying about the blockchain, that can, you could mess up yourself as far as doing all,
You want to let them know kind of the rundown on what the blockchain and the networks really do?
Yeah, so
just a little short.
just a little bit to touch on that, so there's some understanding. The blockchain is the technology. It's called blockchain, and it's the crypto coins they use it. It's like under the hood where it's used for the transactions, and it's used for like to send it to different like wallets,
Right.
and for like even to exchanges, which you could say is kind of like a wallet, and to store it like in a cold wallet. Anytime you send it somewhere, then it's the record that it keeps track of everything that happens with it. It's the contracts basically, like you buying it, you selling it, you moving it, and that's basically what the blockchain does.
Okay. Good info. So now there's multiple blockchains and networks out there. We're not going to cover all of them because there's too many to count. It ain't like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and stuff like that. There's a different network and blockchain for a good bit of crypto, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hundreds of different cryptos. Now we'll touch on like Avalanche. The Avalanche has its own network. Bitcoin has its own network. Ethereum, Polygon, Cardano, and XRP, Optimism, Solana, a bunch of them. So again, there's a bunch of them, and it's really important that you guys understand all these different networks and blockchains that we utilize in crypto, especially when you're purchasing crypto, because you need to pay attention whenever you purchase, say, Ethereum or Cardano. Like, for example, Ethereum has hundreds of different ERC20 compatible tokens. Right?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, most probably I'd say.
Their network allows other chains to be compatible with Ethereum.
It
right?
works off of it.
ERC20 token. So whenever you say you purchase Polygon, even though Polygon has its own network, right, it can be confusing.
Very confusing.
Because if you purchase Polygon and it runs on, it can be compatible with ERC20 or Polygon.
Right.
You need to know what network you're purchasing on. Because if you click Polygon, or if it, like some of these exchanges I've noticed, like they just have a set one, and then you can actually change it.
Yeah. And in the beginning, it wasn't that complicated, but they keep adding more and more. When there was just like Bitcoin and Ethereum, it was like, you couldn't hardly mess that up so much. So basically what we're saying is like, if you have a token that is on the network that you have, like Ethereum or network, say, and you go to send it to another place, it has to arrive to go to that same network, that same blockchain, in order to get there. It's like taking a train. You got trains going different places. It rides that train to go to your destination. If it gets on the wrong train, it's not going to go to your destination.
Right.
And so that is one thing. Like when I first got in, like not many people talked about it a whole lot, you know.
Yeah, right.
And
there wasn't a whole lot of different blockchains.
Right, but you could. I mean, usually when you click on it, it would say like, make sure this is the ERC20 address. Yeah. You only send Ethereum to this, otherwise it get lost or whatever. Yeah. But and that part was pretty easy. But then when they started coming out with all the other like Polygon and like the Optimism and
Polygon has been a big one because you'll get on there and I've seen it many a times myself where I almost got confused where I what network am I on, because you know, like again, different exchanges you can purchase on one network and you'll have 5 different options and they'll have theirs input automatic, and then you come over here like I have Matic, and I have it on 2 different networks, right? I have Matic on the Polygon network, and I have Matic on the Ethereum network. And if you don't pay attention to that, if you purchase Polygon,
you ain't gonna get there.
You go to withdraw it, and you want to put it on another exchange, or you want to put it on a cold wallet or something like that, and you click on the wrong wallet address with the wrong network, you're screwed. You know,
it happened to me.
It's a big deal to pay attention to these networks and these.
It's stressful when you know, especially when it's like a coin is supposed to be there pretty quick, you know, a fast coin, and you keep looking and it doesn't show up. You're like,
no,
it doesn't show up, and then you start thinking, oh my gosh, where is it?
Another thing is talking about what he's saying is another thing to do when you're in this situation, right? Is to do a test amount, right? So if you have $1,000 on the exchange, you may want to take out $50 and test that network to make sure that you
the minimum. Try to even do like the lowest you can if possible.
You don't want to send $1,000 over and you're not sure if it's going to show up in that new wallet that you just created or whatever the case may be. So always do a test sample before you go all in. You know what I mean? So that's just to be on the safe side.
I've done that a lot of times.
Yeah, I have to. Cause if you ain't really sure, the best thing to do is I'd rather risk $20, $25 versus.
And see, that's like too, because it is so new and evolving. Like, okay, like you can buy a coin on here, and you want to send it like say with another network that's cheaper on fees. So the place that you're going to send it to, you look, and sometimes it don't have that option yet. Like it just has just Ethereum only, or maybe it have like Polygon but not this other one type of thing, because it's so new, So you got to pay attention to that too.
And the other thing is I've noticed is when it comes to crypto blockchains and networks is you can actually swap networks, right?
Yeah.
Bridge is called utilize. You have say Polygon, and you purchase it on the Polygon network, and you want to swap it over to the Ethereum network, or it'll be a wrapped Polygon because you're transferring network type deal. Because again, not all crypto is compatible with each other, and I don't know. I think they came out with this is because of the different networks and people get confused and stuff, and maybe they need to swap it over to this network or whatever.
They wrap it, and then a big thing was the gas fees because Ethereum was so high.
Yeah, right.
Trying to knock down the Ethereum's gas fees and stuff, and then and not to get off too much, but the block, and this kind of goes along with it actually, but so the newer blockchains and stuff, they're so much faster and cheaper, like Avalanche and Solana, and they always come out with more and more faster ones all the time, and that's pretty much why they've come up with this, so they can get cheaper, and faster times and stuff.
Right.
Which I think Bitcoin, it uses, there's actually a couple different, it has Taproot and there's another one, a couple, variations of it, but as far as that, and I think they got the Lightning Network too. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Where they're working on that, trying to make it faster and cheaper and stuff. But Bitcoin's pretty slow, but it's harder to mess it up, I believe. As far as
mention, they have all the checks and balances, right? So they have to have confirmations, transaction confirmations. So it's also for security purposes. You got somebody verifying the transactions and they have confirmations, and that's really part of the reason why it takes so long is because it's the miners that have to confirm the transactions.
Oh yeah, and then you got proof of stake too. Yeah. It's a different system, and then, but yeah, basically it's like you have a block, and it has to fill all the spots up with all the transactions, and depending on what network it is, it may have more or less, And once it's filled up, then they all get solved, that whole block, and that's when everybody gets their stuff at the same time.
And the other good thing about blockchain is it's immutable, so it
Yeah,
can't be changed,
right.
deleted, or any of that, or altered, like many other things,
Mm-hmm.
that can be altered and they can basically kind of rewrite it. Well, not with the blockchain. Blockchain, it is what it is. After
Yeah, it's permanent, like
you can't
immutable.
go in
Yeah,
and change it.
yeah, that's great. Um, but yeah, so you got to be really, really careful with that. Now, whenever if you do that and you send it, it your coins are still in the blockchain. They're like in the blockchain, but they're kind of stuck,
Yeah.
And you can get them if you know how to do it, but I mean, that's pretty heavy stuff there.
Especially
You
if
get somebody to do it for you, but
Yeah, especially like if you guys are new into crypto,
I wouldn't recommend that. But
it is a little bit easier if you say do make that mistake, where you can contact if you use like Coinbase or Binance or Nexo or something like that. You can actually, if something was to happen with your assets, they can try to retrieve them for you.
and that depends on like who it is, like
Yeah.
because I know like Crypto.com, they've got it in their policy they will not help you at
Yeah.
all, and
Yeah,
Nexo
they're pretty good.
they will. They don't like it, but it takes a long time before you.
It could be a while.
It took
before
them
you-
like what 2-3 months or something like that. At least 2 months, if not three, before they recovered mine,
Mm.
and they weren't too happy about it. But the thing is, when I did it for there, when I sent it to Nexo, and I copied the address and everything, it didn't show that it had the Polygon network on there. It just showed, and they told me it did, but I took a screenshot of it. And I said, no, look at it. And then, because they were like, we need to pay attention, this and that,
Oh, yeah.
but we're going to get them for you. And
They
when I
gonna
sent the
try to
screen,
blame you for
yeah,
it,
when I
yeah.
sent the screenshot, they were like kissing my butt. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You need to redo your sign out, do this. Like,
Oh.
make it work stuff. Because, I mean, I didn't know it. But yeah, but you got, some companies are going to help you out.
Yeah.
Pretty much on your own, or you might have to try to find somebody.
Well, it's kind of hard because of all the behind the scenes type of stuff going on that it'd be hard to retrieve it because again, it's the blockchain and stuff like that. A lot of it can't be reversed, especially if you got to think of it like this: if I send you money, but I didn't mean to, maybe I typed the wrong letter in the wallet or whatever. Well, if I send you the money and it's already all the confirmations done went through, really nothing they can do. They can't take money out of your account. What if you? Because if I send you the money and you go ahead and withdraw it to say a cold wallet or whatever, your money's done. And again, it's the same as in the real world and what you do on the daily. If you utilize Facebook Pay or Venmo or Zelle, Cash App, and all these different, digital payment options that you have to send money to people. It ain't just crypto. It's everything. It's just there's a difference between crypto because a lot of people are I think they're so weary about it because they don't really understand. You got however many character wallet address. You get a wallet address and it'll be per crypto asset. Now you got multiple coins that work on the same network. Like Avalanche has quite a bit of coins under them, and Ethereum has quite a bit of coins under them, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, it's the same. It's the same deal. Like you get this wallet address, and a lot of people don't really understand that. Well, it's no different than a bank account, right? You get a bank account, you get a route number, and all that good stuff. So,
way of knowing where to go.
right, it's got.
Just like your routing number, and you say your bank account,
It's all a means of having somewhere a destination of your money, and that's where to go. If I input the wrong number on my account number or whatever, it's not gonna work, right? Or if I trying to send you money and I input the wrong number, phone number, email address, or whatever. I mean, it's easy to do. Your fat fingers hit the buttons or whatever, and you type the wrong one. You don't really pay attention. Boom, you hit send, and next thing you know, you got to rely on this random person that you just sent money to send you your money back. And and so many people don't really understand that when it comes to like even in the real world, like you can make that mistake on anything. You know?
Yeah,
And
right.
I see it all the time.
Even the exchanges mess up and send people money by accident.
Oh,
Remember
man,
last year, Crypto.com
like
sending
$1
millions,
million.
yeah, and wanting it back. So even they mess up. But that's where like if you copy and paste, it's so much safer. And then you go. I always go back and verify and look at and make sure like it's matching pretty good stuff. Even Ledger makes you do
Yeah.
that if you can do it the one way whenever you go
Right,
to send
with the
something.
letter, yeah.
Where
You verify.
yeah, even ask you to.
But yeah, that, I mean, I know uh, checking your wallet address, and then not to mention copy and pasting
Mm-hmm.
is probably your safest bet. Your best bet, copy and paste,
Yeah.
typically work pretty good. You know, I mean, you copying the whole thing, but then you know, once you copy and paste, you can still physically verify
Yeah,
every number
right.
and every digit or letter that's on there.
Mhm.
Once you copy and paste, then you send it after you verify your blockchain right, your network, whatever, you're on the right network, and then you got the wallet address inputted correctly, then you hit send. And again, I always recommend sending a little bit first.
Especially the first time you use a wallet.
Send a sample to make sure that you receive it. And it's going to take a few minutes, you know, depending on what network you're on. It can be a few seconds, it can be a few minutes, or
Yeah.
whatever. But 9 times out of 10, guarantee you're going to be less than a day when it comes to crypto.
You can also like Coinbase, different ones have where you can you put your address in there and you can make it remember like you like for that coin or whatever address so that you don't have to.
I know Crypto.com saves almost like an address book.
Yeah, and you type in like okay, this is Bitcoin for Ledger or this Bitcoin for, and you just do it that way, and it's easier to keep up with and stuff. But then you have where a lot of times under new securities and stuff like on different platforms, they'll get rid of old addresses and they'll give you a new one, and they tell you need to update it. Like don't send your your stuff to this address. You got a new one type thing. So you got to pay attention to that kind of thing too.
Because I know this is way off track, and I did cover it on TikTok, but it's still real good information, especially we're talking about blockchains and networks.
Mm-hmm.
And as you just mentioned, the wallet address has changed, right? And they'll send you an email letting you know that, hey, your wallet address has been updated. Make sure that you sign in and update your wallet address. Well, as I mentioned in my TikTok video on the Archer Exchange, is don't be checking and clicking on any links is the main thing, right? Mm-hmm. You can read whatever you want to read off of that email. If it tells you that your wallet has been updated and stuff, you always want to go to the source, right? You
always.
If you're using Binance and it sends you an email and it says click this link and sign in and do this, that, and third, do not click the email link. Go to Binance US and log in on your app, not through the email, because there's so many phishing websites out there and fake websites. It's easy to create a fake website. It's so easy. All right, so again, get out of that email. Don't click on those links. Go over here to your app. Face ID, whatever app you have. Log in and double check.
And if it says you logged out in the email and then you go over here and log into it, it's a bunch of junk. It's not true. Because you just logged in.
No email, no crypto exchange is gonna ask you for your seed phrases. They're not gonna ask you for your password or any of that good stuff like that. So if you're doing that, because I've read it time and time again, where people losing money, and crypto's a scam, and crypto, and it ain't crypto. It's you making the mistakes that you don't need to be making because you're not educating yourself on what you need to be doing and how to keep your money safe.
People taking advantage. I mean, there's been crooks like that since the beginning of time that are always trying to take advantage of people that don't understand or whatever.
It's really terrible because it goes on more than just in the crypto space. I mean, there's scams and fraud going on like you just don't believe.
Oh man, yeah.
And I mean, every little thing they're trying to get you. I mean, whether it be emails, text messages, whatever, they send you a link and you click the link, next thing you know, they in your phone, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, you just got to be careful, and I know that's way off track, but
I've seen some doozies out there too. Like since I've been like when the Ethereum switched to proof of stake, I kept getting these emails saying that like MetaMask
I still get MetaMask
all the time, and that one was like MetaMask
your account's been locked
because Ethereum switched to proof of stake. The new system, then it had to be updated, and you've been locked out of your account.
You need to sign in with this link now.
And if you click on it, first thing it does is bring up seed phrase to put in,
and all it's gonna do is remember that seed phrase.
Yeah, you just give them the keys.
You just inputted your information onto an external link that is not the real link. Again, the most important thing to do is to go to the source. Don't worry about that email. Don't worry about that text message. Delete that. You know, and don't look.
Report it as spam, you know, so maybe it won't come back in again, you know.
Because it's a never-ending battle, is what it is. It's the same. It's the same with debit cards, really. And if you think about it, really, nothing is safe. In today's time and age, where a lot of stuff is digital now. So, again, we can compare this. We can compare crypto with real-world scenarios all day long.
Yeah.
All day. You know, people can skim your card information. You know, don't take much for somebody to get your bank account, debit card information and go buy a plane ticket or whatever the case may be. You know, it ain't much. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to give you guys the information that you need to know to protect your assets.
Being that it is so new technology, and but that being said, people don't really understand it quite.
Right.
You know, they're more stuck used to older systems, more vulnerable, and these crooks and these thieves, they know that, so they prey on, you know, that people to not be understanding, you know, how things work so much.
Yeah.
Prey on the weak, yeah, exactly. And so they're trying to take advantage of people, but
that's all it is.
It's
really terrible.
Man. Yeah.
Because these people, I mean, they do this all day long. All day they're just trying to scam people. And, I mean, really wish something could be done, but at the end of the day, you're always going to have that. So it's better to learn how to protect yourself and protect your assets. Because I don't think there's too many people that has not failed for a trap. You know what I mean? I mean, you can only learn from your mistakes and stuff like that. If you never, you know, nobody's perfect. And I don't believe there's no one that has ever not made a mistake when it comes to money. In that sense, you know, whether it be real world or crypto, you know, everybody's, I'm sure, fell for some kind of scam when it came to crypto. I'm sure everybody's fell for something dumb when it came to real world money. Or had their bank account cut off because of somebody got their information offline or whatever. So, you know, in today's time and age and space, with everything being digital, it's just it's so easy for these attacks to just keep on going.
You can't be too safe, and
you can't be too safe.
You'll have scams where they want you to like give them certain thing and they'll return it more back to you, and that's, you know, those are scams too. Usually, if it's too good to be true, then, you know, sounds too good to be true, then it probably is.
You know, a lot of scams that I've noticed before. I haven't had too many of them here recently because I don't really pay attention to nothing anymore. When it comes to emails, text messages, stuff like that, it's just auto delete, you know. But I have seen before where it used to be I'd get an email or a text message every day, or whether it be on WhatsApp or Telegram or text message regular or whatever.
It's insane.
I can flip your Bitcoin. Or you send 2,000, I give you back 4,000. There's no way that anybody can do that. I mean, they're not. It's not going to work. You know? Again,
man.
Just to drive that point home with what Eric said is, if it sounds too good to be true, 9 times out of 10 it is. I would actually say 10 times out of 10. You know what I mean?
I had that exact experience happen to me where, I think it was last year or the year before, where someone had hacked an account, a friend of mine's account, and was pretending to be him and was sending me messages, and I thought it was him at first, and this guy was telling me that he could take, if I sent him Bitcoin, he would give me back so much. I forget how much it was. And he's like, you got to do it. Oh, that's great. I did it. I got back $5,000 extra or something. And I figured it out. What tipped me off first was he said 5 minutes. I'll get my Bitcoin back. I give it to him, and then he'll return me within 5 minutes, like so much extra Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin takes 10 minutes for a blockchain to solve, right?
Yeah.
So it was impossible. It would take at least 20 minutes, right? And a lot of times it takes longer than 10 minutes for that to even happen. So I knew he's full of crap, you know. And then I asked him, I said, wait a minute, why do you need my Bitcoin? Why don't you just go to the exchange and buy all you want over there and then send it where do whatever you're doing with it to turn it into more Bitcoin? Why you gotta have my Bitcoin? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got sometimes you just kind of reason through it in your mind, like this just if this doesn't add up because you did this, just. But they want to catch you on like off guard. Like, oh, I can make this money, and you're not thinking right.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Get lured in.
Yeah.
Lured in. It kind of reminds me of the what was it, Geico?
Panic. They want you in panic mode.
Geico or Allstate commercial where he fishing with that dollar on the line.
Oh yeah, right.
I got a dollar. Come on. Willing you in.
And people fall for it.
And people fall for it. And that's another reason, a big reason why we may not be the best crypto show out there. We may not be
we're working on
the most influential people out there, but at the end of the day, we're trying to help you guys and bring you the education. We ain't the smartest and everything like that, but you can come in and you can ask questions. We'll interact with the people, with you guys, and it's free information. Again, we're not charging to give out information. We're trying to help you protect your assets, and protect your money and learn about this because it's a new space. And even though it's been around since 2009, it's still growing,
still
infant and evolving. So what that is, 9, 10, 11, like almost 15 years, crypto's been around, and that's still a teenager.
Oh yeah, right.
So you got a long ways to go.
Long ways to go, and it's gonna get more complex as time goes on too. I think it'll get simpler later on. Like it'll be like your wallet addresses and stuff. Well, even those new Ledger wallet has it where you don't have to do all that. It does it inside. Like you just push the button that's highlighted for which one exchange you want to go to, and it does all that stuff behind the scenes for you.
And I think that's more for the beginners because I do like the fact of crypto being created for the people, and being decentralized and putting the power back into people's hands type of deal, where you're in control of your money and assets and stuff like that. So I do like that idea, but for the beginners,
intimidating for the beginners.
It's pretty intimidating, and there's a lot to it. So you can utilize the centralized aspect of it, just like your regular bank account, you get a debit card and it can be hacked. It could be that information can be stolen. All it takes is somebody to look at it and memorize it. You know what I'm saying? And they can spend your money, online or whatever. Credit cards, debit cards, whatever.
Yep.
Still online. It's still digital. So if it's digital, it can be got pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think like they'll ever stop the crooks completely. Like they're usually one step ahead. They're always staying ahead of the stuff.
They're always out there. I mean, they got a good hustle on pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all hustling really.
But as far as like the crypto part of it, they just about have to you just about have to hand in the keys. Like they have to talk you into it, trick you, kind of thing.
Especially with decentralized.
Yeah, it's not like they can just hack it and take it from you necessarily.
And that's the aspect where, once we get viewers and stuff like that, and we start growing and get bigger, hopefully, what we'll be able to do is the decentralized aspect is get into more advanced information when it comes to the decentralized aspect of it, and being able to protect your assets even more than what the centralized, like Binance, Nexo, Coinbase.
That's what it was really designed for, to decentralized.
Are going to be able to do for you, because they're not going to be able to do everything. I mean, you can see banks going bankrupt, or crypto exchanges going bankrupt and shutting down left and right. And even the banking places are struggling right now. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to provide is eventually we'll get into the more advanced aspect of it when it comes to getting your getting yourself a code wallet, understanding that you get a 12, 24 word seed phrase and, you know, stuff like that.
The best way to keep up with that phrase, so you don't, you know, we'll get into that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the safest
means to
secure it, and like, yeah, we'll get into all that kind of stuff. You guys be surprised.
Yeah.
Not just writing it on a piece of paper and then you know, something, you know, happens or whatever.
If you get into the space, you need to dive deep in it and learn as much as you can. Like us, you know, all we do is try to learn every day, whether it be what's going on with the news and the Fed meetings and the interest rates.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Inflation and everything like that.
This space, you will not get bored in it.
No.
I mean,
there's always something.
Always something happening all the time. You know, it's just crazy, man. Like partnerships. You got
games coming out. NFTs,
I mean, court stuff going on, court cases. You got the government stuff with it. It's against globally too. This country will wanting to do this or this. I mean, it just keeps changing all the time. And like it's like you'll never run out of like being bored. I'm telling you. You follow this stuff.
You'll never run out of content to research. People will never run out of content to put out there. Now, whether it's for good intentions or bad intentions, that's, you know, for your own determination. But I know we have good intentions and trying to educate people. So I do know that's where we're heading in that direction. But again, you know, with the blockchains, there's so many of them. And, we just really want you to be aware of the networks and the different blockchains that are out there when it comes to buying, withdrawing, swapping, or any of that good stuff when it comes to
just
crypto.
pay attention to how you're sending it, where you're sending it to from, and all
what
that.
you purchase and which network you purchase it on. My favorite example is going to be Polygon, just because it's compatible with Ethereum and it is Polygon. And so easy to purchase and make that mistake of not knowing, if you're not paying attention, which network it's on.
Yeah.
And then you lose your money or whatever. And again, you know, this whole thing was created so that you can be in control of it. So, you know, you can't be lazy. You can't just not worry about it, because that's when you're gonna make them mistakes.
It's important. Like, it's really important if you pay attention, because like, and when you make these decisions to send stuff, that you look at it and verify. You can't verify it enough times. Double check. Maybe get your wife, your husband, somebody to verify too. Hey, this does match. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Because like you may never get this stuff back. You know, there's a chance of it. So you got to really, really take the time and be conscious about it and put the effort in. Because it's your money, you want to protect it. You don't want anything to happen to it. Especially you don't want to do it to yourself, you know, because you just won't pay attention or whatever. And it's so easy to do when you first get in, because you don't really get the idea of that or understand it at first. Because like I said, I've done that before. I think, did you do it before too, or no?
What's that?
Send something to the wrong network or something. Like,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have before.
Yeah, I tell you what, you learn your lesson afterward.
I was about to say, just go pay attention the first time. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about one and done. And
but if we can teach
once you make a mistake once,
yeah,
you kind of hone in on.
So if you guys can learn from our mistake, like you know, because
that's the big thing right there.
We'll save you guys, you know, a lot of trouble.
It's trying to help others learn from our mistakes. You know, especially if you're a beginner and it's such an overwhelming space.
Yeah,
you know
right.
When you got me in originally, I was like, I didn't have a clue. I was like, man, what coins is good to get into? What's the difference here?
Those
and
coins?
there? You know, and you know, it's kind of like, golly, and then there's 22,000 crypto coins out there. And,
yeah.
You know, hundreds of different networks, and you know, 100 different exchanges to purchase crypto on. You know, what's the best exchanges to get on? And I was like,
should I stake my coins?
There's so much into it that, I mean, you'll never quit learning. You'll
just take the fact, like just being able to look at just the bare like fundamentals of a chart, like a TA, like just looking to see like just how the candlesticks and stuff like that. That in itself is something, like just be able to understand how the candlestick works. Yeah. Like, you know, like me and you probably take it for granted, just looking at like the highs, lows, the time frames, the colors, the wicks, you know, all that stuff.
But to an average person,
like I had to learn that, like, you know what I'm saying, like I didn't just look at it and be like, oh yeah, like, you know, you have to start somewhere.
Some people are more, I don't know how you say it, but you know, some people their brain is more advanced, you know, and some people can
learn
just
quicker.
See stuff differently than others, you know. But again, every individual is different, you know. Some people are more safe and more cautious and worried about different things and paranoid, or so to speak.
Right.
And then the other people are just so lenient and just think that everybody is just a good person, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's not like that.
Right.
In no space is it.
Oh
like
man, yeah. Right.
And but again, you know, there really ain't a whole lot to cover on the blockchains that you know, well, there's a lot of information when it comes to the blockchain, but the main thing was to cover the main thing was to cover how to protect yourself and how to not lose any money, and understanding that there's different networks that are compatible with each other and can work simultaneously with each other, and you need to be aware of that type of deal. And I don't know if you have any of the news ready for today.
Well, not exactly.
If not, that's cool. If you want to get the news.
I do know that Coinbase was having like something about SEC was possibly coming after them or something. I heard rumors about it. I don't know if I'll be able to look it up. But,
well, again, you know, we could talk about the Fed meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
Now again, that was yesterday. While he's looking up if there was anything exciting today happened, the Fed meeting was yesterday. They raised the interest rate hikes 0.25%. A lot of people predicted 0.5%. Did they not?
Yeah, they were saying something about that they were, because the Fed before the meeting, you know, not too far before, was talking about being more aggressive and possibly adjusting to a 0.5, you know, because of the higher inflation, you know. But no, they
ultimately they raised it 0.25. Now they did specify in the meeting that they do plan to raise it basically all year round, or all year. And I believe there's two or three more meetings,
something like that, maybe more
this year, and maybe more. I think I read where they predict the inflation interest rate hike to go above 6%. Yeah, I think it's at 5.75% right now.
Something
they believe it to go over.
They're trying to get it to 2, I think. Is what
they want to be down. They want to get it eventually down to 2%. Now that could be a good little ways away, but again, inflation rate and the rate hikes and stuff like that is actually good for crypto, is it not?
Yeah, that's what it was designed for. Was like
because more people lose faith in USD buying power or different world currency. You know what I'm saying? Because crypto ain't just United States. You know, obviously it's global, and so it's actually beneficial to crypto. Yeah, because more people lose interest in their currency.
It gives somewhere for people to put their money because they don't want to lose the buying power when inflation's hit. So it's an alternative to put it into Bitcoin, which, you know, it's going to go up instead of down over time.
Anytime everything else, all the items go up. Which ultimately means your buying power of your currency goes down. Stays the same value, but the items go up. You know, so that's not good.
It's so anytime they turn on the money printers, you know, and print more and more money, you know, that's where it's good for Bitcoin.
Last episode,
that's where it comes into effect. That's just what it's mainly designed for.
So that's another thing to look out for. Again, you know, that was yesterday, you know, but it's still big news and it's crucial to crypto because, again, you know, with them raising the interest rates and, you know, we're still enduring inflation, you know, so more people in the world is looking for ways to, I guess, differentiate, I guess you could say, their buying power and buying into crypto to alleviate
like a safety
that.
net type thing.
Right. Because a lot of people look at Bitcoin as a store of value. Again, we've mentioned that in previous videos. Bitcoin being a store of value, they feel like it's more safe to put it in Bitcoin because the potential to grow and the price rise, so they invest in that.
Right.
What have you found anything?
Yeah, Do Kwon. I was telling you about this earlier today a little bit. Where they,
Do Kwon.
You know, he was the Terra Luna guy. That.
Oh yeah.
He's pretty. Yeah, and he, you know, all that, it was pegged the dollar and it went all the way down and lost his peg, you know, and they supposedly they believe they caught him. That's something on the news today. Who knows if it's 100% true, because it's not saying that, you know, it's 100% true. And then here's that Coinbase thing here, which right now the narrative is going to be kind of in the negative because we're in a bear market. That's just the way it is.
Right.
And in the bull run, it'll be like, oh, you know, it'll be just the opposite. It'll be building it up stuff. But Coinbase gets sued. Gets NSC notice signaling intent to sue over crypto offerings. So, SEC identified potential violations of securities law. Coinbase shares retreat in after hours New York trading, and they supposedly, what I was hearing is they, you know, were telling them that they had certain coins that they had that they were going to were considered securities, the SEC, and that they need. Yeah, and they needed to, you know, stop selling them, and then whenever Coinbase went to the SEC and asked them, like, you know, well, which ones are they? They were like, well, we can't tell you that. Kind of like the same thing with XRP, you know. What were we doing wrong? We can't tell you.
They really know what's a security and what ain't a security. I think they basically try to.
They rule by enforcement. You know what I mean? If that's not how you do it, you can't operate that way.
And they try to, like with XRP, I think they're just trying to dry them out of money. You know.
Oh yeah.
Just trying to win by dragging it on and on because they don't have no guideline or no real case to it, and understand they don't even know what they're suing over. You know
Man,
what I mean? Like they're just dragging it out, you know. But eventually we're gonna get a close on this case, and I think XRP's gonna win, you know. But
I hope so.
It would be a game changer for crypto.
Oh man,
for
wouldn't it though? Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they won't ever tell anybody what what they're doing wrong, and then they want to sue them and come after them. That's just ridiculous. I don't know how they expect to be able to do that to people.
On a positive note about crypto, even though there's so much negativity out there, and this ain't brand new news, but it is positive things that are happening, especially with partnerships and sponsors for crypto, like the UFC, sponsored by Crypto.com. They're in a long contract. You know, they've been a partner with UFC for a while.
Yeah.
DraftKings, which is a sports betting application or app or whatever, online. It's an online sports betting thing. So they're partnering with them. And
is that in the United States or is that somewhere else? That one?
I'm pretty sure it's wherever the headquarters is. You know what I mean? Because wherever UFC, which UFC is U.S. based and or a U.S. company.
I mean the what was the second one you're talking about?
DraftKings. DraftKings. I'm pretty sure they're U.S. based as well. But and then you also got Starbucks.
Starbucks.
You got Disney, Walt Disney, getting into crypto.
Yeah.
So all these, I'm pretty sure is United States, but they do have a lot of international sponsorships and stuff like that. Like say the soccer teams and stuff, which over there they call it football or whatever.
Right.
They're also partnering with the NFL. That's United States.
Is that with the Chili's or something?
No, the NFL is with crypto. No, with Polygon.
Oh, Polygon's got everybody.
Polygon.
Golly.
They got Disney and they got Reddit,
Starbucks,
nothing, Starbucks. Pretty sure we already said Disney and NFL and DraftKings and all that. I think Polygon's killing it with the partnership.
They're something else. They got good team leadership. You know what's interesting? Not this has to do with crypto, but like this phone I got like maybe 2 years ago, and when I was going through it when I bought it, it's got a cold wallet built into it through Samsung.
Really?
Yeah. And I was in crypto and stuff. You have to go to it or whatever. Well, it's a hot wallet, I guess you would say, not a cold wallet,
Yeah,
but it's built into it. I never used it, but I just thought, that tells you right there things are coming along. Like they're planning ahead
there's so many,
for the
there's so many
mass
different
adoption.
companies and stuff that's getting into crypto. You could say PayPal allows you to buy crypto.
Yeah, right.
Cash App allows you to buy crypto. Venmo allows you to
man.
buy crypto. I don't think Facebook and the other one.
They probably will later. I mean,
and all that, but let me just say, if you really think about, and then you got banks that are starting to back crypto and get into crypto.
I saw something today when I was skimming the news. It said that Bank of America says that Ethereum is too slow for like global payments type stuff.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, because there's other.
But I mean,
like if they was to get in bed with XRP, but because
right. But you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Like the Bank of America is like one of the major banks.
Yeah.
Then they're talking about crypto. They're admitting like it's a good. When they say that, they're admitting that like crypto's good. It's just this one's not fast enough. So I mean, they
That's
even recognize it.
Oh,
like.
Oh yeah. Well, again, we'll get into that here in a little bit, I'm sure. But a lot of places are getting into crypto and understanding the value of crypto and what it's gonna bring to today's time and age.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's here to stay.
It's gonna be something serious when it does become adopted, and especially in the United States, right? Because our dollar is pretty powerful when it comes to other countries. Most other countries,
mm-hmm.
as far as exchange rates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's another reason why crypto's so valuable is because it gives everybody globally the same buying power, right?
Same opportunity, pretty much.
Same opportunity, because if USD versus the Philippine peso or whatever, it's like 17,000 or whatever. That's a big difference, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like you got to walk around with a $10,000 peso and a $5,000 peso and
that's crazy.
$2,000 peso, whatever the case may be, to equal $1 US.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But if you get into crypto, everything is equal.
Yeah, once you, because it's global, like it's just like.
Because it's global.
I guess it's like one Bitcoin is the same here as over there, basically. I mean, it's
right.
Like,
and technically it's tied to the US dollar. You know what I mean? Because Bitcoin, USD, Tether, fiat,
mm-hmm.
stable coins and stuff like that. It's tied to, most of it's tied to the US dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, that's why it's important, because everybody in the world, which is good. Right? Because everybody.
Definitely.
Everybody in the world now can, have that financial freedom, because it ain't just about the U.S. and everything, but you got, say, Indonesia or Malaysia or something like this that's a real poor country, and then they have crypto that they can invest in.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're even with the United States, and
and
they can actually survive.
Their dollar's going down, and they put it into this, and Bitcoin starts going up,
mm-hmm.
and this one's going down,
But it's still U.S. dollars,
mm-hmm.
which is still powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can sell it for U.S. dollars.
Basically, the standard, type of deal. But like I said, there's some of them out there that's like 100,000 to 1 or whatever.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So that pretty much covers the news of the day without getting too drawn out about it. We talking about a lot of different things today, but so coin of the day today is going to be XRP. I'm sure you guys already guessed that if you watched the beginning of the video and being in the lawsuit type of deal. But so 2020. SEC filed a lawsuit against XRP and Ripple Labs, which is the company that created XRP, XRP Ledger or whatever. They're still currently in the lawsuit.
Oh yeah,
it's been 3 years.
It's going on 3 years. Yeah.
December will be third year officially. Hopefully we'll get a clarification here soon on whether it's a security or non-security.
Yeah.
And then that'll be huge for crypto if they win, right?
Oh man, yeah.
That's gonna be a stepping
Massive,
stone,
because
massive
like this
stepping stone.
SEC kind of like, oh well, we lost. Like we're not supposed to lose. We're the we're the king here,
Well,
type
not
of
to
thing.
mention what it
And
does for all the other
and then
crypto coins.
yeah, because so if they think basically if they can beat XRP, they can beat anything. Like
Yeah.
like it just scares the whole industry. Like oh they beat XRP, Ripple,
Yeah.
and they're all leaving America anyways. Most of them because they don't want to deal with it and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need it real bad for them to be able to win this.
If they win, it's gonna be massive
And-
for all crypto.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason why we need.
We need them to win it, when the bull run kicks in real good. By that time, make it go even
Right.
hyperbolic.
But just for the future of crypto, and all the different crypto projects out there and different coins, again, there's over 22,000 coins and tokens. XRP wins, everybody gets clarity on what a security is and what ain't a security, right?
Well, yeah, on XRP, and think about this: if they win, then it will be the only digital currency coin in the United States that is declared, safe by the SEC, not to be,
Yeah.
a security or whatever, not a security, and all the other ones, haven't gotten that.
Well, some of them they can't go after,
and-
right? Because some of
well,
them are created in different.
They say Bitcoin, you can't really go because it's decentralized and stuff. There's like nobody behind it, but
Yeah, they don't even know who's behind it.
right. So yeah, but
And
like
you got other ones even with a white paper. If it was like say Jasmine coin, created in Japan, SEC can't really go after
yeah,
them, right?
they're saying something about possibly going after Ethereum now because when Ethereum switched to proof of stake, it became a security.
Yeah, but he's in the United States, is he not?
Who's that?
Vitalim or Vitalik.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if he's in Canada or the United States, but yeah, I mean, but they'll be basically they'll be the only one that's
Well,
like
he's of
that
his
clarity,
USB jurisdiction.
huh? Yeah, and which people like investors or whatever feel safe about buying into it because they got clarity on it, and you know how the SEC is so wishy-washy, changing their mind all
Yeah.
the time, back and forth. Like they had the Hinman speech. Hinman was like head of the SEC, and he had this speech talking about Ethereum is not a security and all this and that. And now they're saying, oh no, it is a security, and they're like, oh he didn't really mean that when he said it. Like back and forth kind of thing. They don't have any stability on anything.
Right.
So they, it's just crazy how they act. But yeah, so, but XRP, I don't know if everybody knows is watching or not, but how it's basically designed. It's a banker coin, like for the
Yeah.
banks and stuff, and not just any bank, like the central banks,
big bank,
yeah,
too.
the central banks, the countries and stuff, and it was designed, for like cross-border payments originally.
Right.
And that narrative keeps changing. They keep getting into now they're getting into NFTs,
Oh yeah.
which is
yeah,
going to be
they're
real
trying-
good,
they're trying
cheap
to
gas
grow
fee.
and
Yeah.
Get into more things.
Mm-hmm. And but yeah, so it was designed that way. And the interesting thing about XRP was that it was all pre-mined.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's no miners that are getting paid, which keeps the transaction fees so low. That's how
Right.
they're able to do it because all it's already been mined and stuff. So, but basically. Separates it from them. I think there's like 50 or 60 billion. Is it 50 billion or 60? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's up there. But they have what's called the distributed ledger, and they have it, but they don't control it. It's all operates by.
100 billion.
Oh, it's 100 billion.
Yeah, max supply 100 billion.
Oh, I was thinking. Okay.
Circulating supply of 50 billion.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. But so it basically was designed to take over all financial transactions globally.
Yeah.
And it was made the amount that was made. If it did that, then one XRP would be $10,000.
That's insane.
Yeah. And their their saying or whatever is like, we're gonna take over global payments, or we're gonna put a dent in the world trying.
what they're trying to do ultimately is they're trying to replace SWIFT, which was created back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
if they can top SWIFT being the international payment giant, everybody who sends money cross border payments, whatnot, they're trying to replace them with a lower cost,
Mm-hmm.
faster transaction,
Yeah.
more secure.
instant
option.
payments.
Yeah.
ODL, on demand liquidity, and whenever, like with the current system with Swift, they have Nostrum accounts where like this bank over here, you have this bank over here in another country, and someone over here wants to, say they want to send money to this country. Well, they have to keep that currency, that all these different currencies, that not just like USD, but like all of them, because you're transferring money like pesos over to here, and so they have to keep all that there.
Every bank has to keep
Yeah,
a
yeah,
certain amount
and it just sits
of
there
every currency
to cover
they
it,
deal
right?
with, yeah.
And then so it's called a Nostrum account. That's what that's called, and it's like expensive, and it takes up room, and then you got all this money that's not circulating.
And not
So
doing anything. It's
right,
just sitting there
so XRP does away with it.
yeah.
You don't have to have that anymore,
Yeah.
which is huge, and it does away with all those Nostrum accounts, and then and it's instant. And the Swift, it actually.
It's slower.
The failure is
too.
slow. It's expensive. It can take like 5-6 days depending on where you're going. And the failure rate is like
And you
up
can
there.
mess
Man.
up too. Yeah.
The
Like,
failure
you can
rate
make
is like
mistakes,
8,
yeah.
I think it's like 2 out of 8 or something like that. It's bad. Like that you won't even get your money, won't even show up, kind of thing. And so it has to go like this bank, and it has to go to this bank, and every time it does, there's a fee here, type of thing. It takes a long time. Whereas, you think about XRP, it's like 2 seconds, 2 cents or whatever, right?
Right.
I mean, it's just
A lot of
insane.
people don't realize that either.
Yeah.
Is the amount of like fees adding up and the amount of time that it takes to receive money. A lot of people, if I want money and you need it now, you want something that's gonna give it to you like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And it's like it's not even like where like you send money on Zelle or something, it gets there or whatever, and then like it has to clear the bank still in the background.
Yeah, right.
This clears instant, like it's
Right.
done, and it's
So
insane.
basically coming out of your account, which is your wallet address,
Mhm.
versus your bank doing it behind the scenes and communicating with the other bank to let them know they're sending this amount to this amount,
Mhm.
yada yada. And
And-
so again, it was what launched in 2012, which is a few years after Bitcoin was
Yeah.
launched, and it was designed because of the deficiencies in Ethereum.
And Bitcoin.
Deficiencies in Bitcoin.
And
man.
yeah, right. And like Bitcoin, like if you send a transaction and something happens and it don't get there, you have a problem. There's nobody to call. There's no company. There's like no headquarters. Whereas like Ripple is the company, and they're actually a business with people in there that that's the only way you can do it. Really, you think
Right.
about it.
Same with other cryptos. Everybody's basically piggybacking
Mm-hmm.
off of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Trying to create and solve something that Bitcoin wasn't doing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be
Yeah.
getting out, going carbon free emissions, or to quit mining and
Mhm.
doing away with
Yeah, exactly.
electricity,
Right.
or getting faster with the payments, and
It's kind of like they're copying it, but
they're
improving
all-
it.
It's all
Yeah.
scalability.
Yeah, scalability. That's a big one.
And so again, that was why XRP was created. It was trying to solve some of the problems that Bitcoin had, and just like how Cardano, came out trying to solve some of the problems that Ethereum had.
Isn't that something? Yeah, yeah.
And so it's all trying. A lot of these crypto coins, you got to look at the utility is what they're trying to solve, and other coins just come out just to come out. Other projects get created just to be created, just because like they're trying to take money or rug
Mhm.
pulls and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Now, one thing interesting is that, we talk about like Bitcoin and like the blockchains and stuff. They have the ledger, blockchain ledger is like anybody can see it, it's transparent.
Yeah.
Now with XRP, they actually have private ledgers too. They have public and private ledgers. So like companies that they don't want everything to be seen, they can be on a private ledger.
Right.
Whether it be like the government's exchanging money or whatever. So it can do both, and both of them are running at the same time.
Mm.
And whereas like most of the other blockchains and stuff is open, like you can see it.
Right.
So that tells you right there it's designed like for like the banking and that kind of thing too,
Yeah,
right? They
yeah.
make sure they took care of that part of it too. But yeah,
I think XRP is gonna be more of a centralized token. Type
it
of-
is. I mean,
They're gonna be for the banks.
Yeah.
And which ain't a bad thing because I do feel like we're always going to utilize banks. More people are going to trust banks.
You got to have a bank,
and dealing with people in person type of thing. But you'll be using the XRP technology and the blockchain
to send and move
behind the scenes
right.
type of deal.
You won't even. Most people probably won't even know they're using. Most people don't know they're using Swift. Behind the scenes.
Right, right.
But with XRP, it's like there was something I was going to say about it. It's I can't remember what it was now, but it's so fast, the technology and everything, and that it's once you have like 2 banks using it, then all the rest of them can't compete. They have to join because it's so cheap.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you just have to have 2 of them like start using it, and the other ones are like, oh wait a minute, we're gonna lose business. So they join it and they join it.
Right. Everybody starts joining and stuff. $1 per 100,
or like Swift could be like $50 to send money, like $70 somewhere.
And that's where it comes into the amount. A lot of banks and stuff, because the more money you send, the more the fee they're going to tack on.
It's usually like a percentage and stuff.
If they had like $1 per 100 or $1 per 1,000 or something, you got XRP that's 0.001 XRP per transaction.
Not even a limit of how much money. Like
1.5.
You be $10 million or $1, it's still going to be like
the
same.
The same fee.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to be able to compete with that, so everybody's going to have to follow suit. And I'm glad you brought that up because XRP has already, I don't know what the word is, but committed or partnered with, I guess you could say, with over 300 and something banks.
Man.
Over 300 and something banks. Now this is global. Now 300 and something
That's
banks
insane.
that they're partnered with, and the banks are using XRP technology, so that's huge.
Yeah, and it just keeps growing more and more.
Now, obviously, there are probably a million banks out there, whether it be small, local.
And I think most of they're the ones they're using the big banks,
they're going after
the big fish. The
big banks.
They definitely.
Bank of America, Citibank, stuff like that.
And like they did a whole bunch of partnerships in Africa just like a few weeks ago. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
That update the other day, and but I mean like XRP is just crazy, man. Because
XRP, it'll be a game changer. I think.
So the ledger, like it does its own thing. Like it's an escrow, and it looks at like how much is in circulation, and it adjusts to how much XRP needs to be released into the world. Yeah. It does it by itself. Like there's nobody like doing it. It's all programmed, right? So Ripple actually doesn't control the escrow. It does it by itself. Yeah. Even if they went out of business or something, or sold it to somebody else, it would still be doing the same thing. I mean, a lot of people think, oh well, they control it, but they really don't. They, and it was even Jed made it before them. It was even actually called something else. One time, I forget the name of it now, but it's been a long time ago. But and that's XLM too, the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Technology,
quite a few.
technology wise. But the ISO 2022.
222.
That's a huge thing. I don't know if you had anything in there about it, but
no, it is compliant with the ISO 20022. I know that's going to be huge too.
Which
that's your international standard of organization when it comes to the coding system for currency, and updating it, USD, British Pound, JPY, all the coding.
That's like
that's the only thing. There's only a few coins
compliant.
3 to 5 that's compliant. That's actually compliant with that ISO standard, and XRP is one of them that's been compliant for quite a while.
Yeah, they're the number one on the list and stuff. They that's that new global payment thing that's going to be like basically using digital currency,
right?
Or the digital thing.
If they hit, that's huge too. Not only if they win the SEC case, you also got the ISO 222.
I don't understand like how. Okay, this is all planned as far as like the ISO 22 is supposed to launch like November or whatever, like globally and stuff. But like, okay, if they're being sued by the SEC, then like the United States probably, we can't use them for ISO or whatever because they're being sued. But then so I don't know if it's all planned and they're gonna try like fix this lawsuit and end it, and they're like approved right before that thing launched or what. You know what I mean? It's just so weird. Like, you know.
With ISO being international standard, that means it's worldwide.
Right.
There's nothing, the United States can't go against ISO.
Right.
The ISO is designed to take care of the whole global.
But see, what's going to happen is they're going to be left behind because they're say
well, they get
if they can't use it like the rest of the world, and we're still driving around a buggy. So they're saying everybody's a Lamborghini. I mean, it's so crazy. Like we're still.
I don't think that can happen. Like the way, in just my opinion, if the ISO decides to implement XRP being an international currency, they have no choice but to comply.
Right.
Type of deal, because it's international. That's what their job is to determine the coding system, and just like USD being a international currency standard.
Yeah.
Well, if they decide XRP,
I know,
if
right?
they decide XRP fits that system, then really the US, there's nothing they can do now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why maybe that's why they haven't implemented the ISO 222 because maybe they're waiting on the law.
That's what I think. That's what some people say.
That way they can decide on if they need to kick XRP to the curb or to keep on with XRP.
Right.
Because again, if they make that call, I don't really feel like there's anything the U.S. can do about it.
Yeah.
Because it's international.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, there's something going on in the works. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I know XRP too is helping with the CBDCs, their technology. They're like help develop that for the banks and stuff. I've read about that too, which is a pretty big deal. But they just keep coming out with more stuff too as time goes on. It's it's amazing technology.
Yeah.
And it just gets faster and faster and faster. And I mean, there's so much to it.
I'll say it's one of the best coins. Now, obviously, if you're in the United States, you can't really purchase it anywhere except on, I think,
Upholders, yeah.
But if you can get your hands on it, that'd be the one to accumulate and start stacking. But again, that's a little bit about XRP. There's so much more information about XRP, and there's a lot of more information about blockchain. We can't cover everything in one episode. Not to mention, if you guys would leave comments and start asking questions, it'd really help out a lot with the content, to kind of see what you guys are interested in. And with that being said, the next episode we do, which will be Thursday, around 6 o'clock or so, give or take, is going to be talking about setting goals and having a plan for when you're in the crypto space. You need to have a goal, you need to have a plan, you need to know what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. And, even if it's a certain amount of this coin, a certain amount of this coin, or, your exit strategy and entry strategy, and, know the cycle and when to get in, when to get out type
Best
of deal.
time to buy and sell.
That's what we're going to be covering on Thursday. And so if you want to check us out on Thursday around 6 o'clock, give or take,
that'd be a good show right there. Yeah.
We'd greatly appreciate it if you stop in, leave a comment, or just like the video, supporting us that we're putting out good information for you guys. If there's anything else you want to say to them.
No, just mainly what you were talking about. Love to hear from viewers and find out what is on their mind, and if they have any questions about what we've been talking about already, we could answer. Maybe something
or what they would like us to talk about,
or what they'd like us to talk about. Either way, whether it be what coins we like, we're interested in, or our goals, our plans too, which we can go over some of that next week. Next Thursday.
We do this. We doing this for you guys, and so if there's something you want us to cover, all you got to do is leave a comment down below, because we can change up the strategy, we can change up the content. It's all really right now we're just kind of going with the flow and creating our own content and our own educational aspects.
They can control the show if they
Yeah.
want to, you know, lead us the direction that they want us to
Yeah.
go.
Right. So, with that being said, thanks for watching the Archer Exchange, and until Thursday, 6 o'clock, hopefully you will hit them notifications and subscribe down below. And
Thanks for watching, guys.
See you then.